Okay. Speaking of that, James, Reggie, you spoke on this in our last set of interviews, but I wanted to get James' reaction to Keefe saying he witnessed a guy named Bruce Richardson beating up Bountry and Suge at a nightclub one night.
Once upon a time, Bountry and Suge got beat up by so many motherfucking people. You don't even see how they credible. You don't even see how they could be, or a Bountry can be a hog. They done been beat up so many times, and I hear it all the time. If Bountry ever came home beat up, wounded, or whatever, I knew. Timmy knew. My family knew. Bountry ain't never came home beat up or wore out. And I done heard about a whole bunch of out of state fights that I ain't heard niggas talking about they took off and beat the shit out of the homies. The only motherfuckers gonna understand this is the real niggas. The niggas that did time with the Buntrys, the Herons, the Rock Chisholms, the Neck Bones, the Jujus. If you niggas know them, then y'all know when you hear, oh, one nigga beat up Bountry and Suge. Suge got to fight for dear life fighting with Bountry because he can't run, he can't leave the scene of the crime. He got to fight. That makes Suge's a very dangerous dude. Bountry ain't no just beat me up. I ain't saying he can't win. I mean lose no fights. We all do. We all can get touched because there's somebody out there with better hands than you. They can say what the fuck they want. It's not a proven fact. Nigga, do you got a picture? Give me something. And if this dude come on there and say, yeah, I got down with both of them, he gonna keep it 100. I don't think I whooped their ass, but I stood my grounds. Yeah, I'm cool with that. I ain't gonna take nothing from now, nigga. Not to make it seem like Bountry was that nigga. But I know my brother. I know my brother. I knew and everybody else out there that did time with him in prison. And the only fight I heard Bountry had a problem with is with this little B dog in San Diego. And the little niggas had hands and he gave Bountry a run for his money on some 100 shit. And Bountry came back and said, Mob, that was a rough one. The little nigga handled his business. And him and Bountry got drunk or did something after that. Actually, they was cool after that. And I just don't see it. I mean, I'm not saying it's impossible, but we all lose.
Oh yeah.
But come on, Reg. Bountry and the neck bone together ain't finna just lose a fight.
Yeah. It was a Bountry and Neck.
I know, Bountry and Suge.
Yeah.
It ain't finna happen.
Yeah. I mean,
It can happen, but
we wouldn't heard about it. That's all we saying.
yeah.
And people and you know, I read the comments and I know y'all didn't comprehend my point. I wasn't up there confirming or denying what the other people was reporting. All I was trying to point out to you guys is that Keefe's a motherfucking lying, making up shit because the location that it happened at, he was way off, and the time or what happened the day after. Because if that did happen, when KPD said it happened, and that was true, yeah, I believe what happened the next day would happen. But I was trying to explain to y'all the incident where we did have a problem with Bruce. It was a problem mainly with 6ix9ine, not Suge. And Bountry wasn't even there that particular night when the dude came up dead the next day. But Suge and Bruce were the problem solvers that particular night. That was too deep for a lot of y'all. I wasn't trying to debate and go back and forth whether it happened or not. I wasn't there, so I can't say it. All I can say on that part is, if that would happen, I would have heard about it, and that nigga would have been dead 2 or 3 years prior.
I don't know why the fuck you say something like that.
That's the truth.
Okay.
Yeah. If that would happen. I don't think it happened. I don't believe it. But I know when it did say, and everybody in the world knows why that man came up there that next day when that little scrimmage happened with us. That man's brother was arrested for that. That man's brother, somebody he knew had to let him in that gated community, in that gated house. And his brother was arrested for that.
Right.
That's why I feel comfortable speaking on it.
But like I said, man, I done heard a lot of people speak on, well, I heard Keefe D speak on that and said that this dude, and he might got hands, I don't know him, never heard of him, and he might be that dude.
All accounts I hear, he was a good dude.
Okay, so, you know, it ain't no one fighter in this motherfucker. Mike Tyson got his ass whooped all the time. So ain't now cat on this planet that haven't took a loss. If you out here on this social media shit and done won all your fights and you 53 or older, you a goddamn lie. If you 45 and you done won all your fights and you a fighter, you a goddamn lie. Knock it off.
I can raise my hand. Cause I ain't never really had no fair fights.
Well, I'm okay, all gang members, and I'm not talking about wearing a uniform and I got a partner to fight with me. Yeah. I'm talking about niggas that say they got these and square up and fight. Yeah. Penitentiary, in the penitentiary fighting. Yeah. You know, everybody done took an L. That don't bunch me any excuse from that, Timmy, me, nobody. Everybody done had their favorites. Correct. So all that bullshit, and if old boy did get him, he a bad motherfucker if he beat up both of them. Just like Daz beat up Reggie and Suge. Yeah. He a bad motherfucker. I wouldn't fight him. I'm good.
Yeah, Daz.
No, I'm just saying, I didn't mean to bring that up.
Yeah,
but
he got mental issues. Daz got mental issues.
But I'm just saying, if the dude did whoop Bountry and Suge ass, Bountry gone, man.
The whole thing is, we would heard about it. That's all we would say. Right. We would heard about it. That's all we up here saying. We would heard about it. We never heard about it. Something like that, all of LA would have heard about it.
Right.
It would have been out.